With less than $5,000 in startup capital, Boone Pickens formed Petroleum Exploration Incorporated to focus on domestic oil and gas opportunities, and later formed Alger Oil and Gas Company. Both were predecessors to Mesa Petroleum, which he took public in 1964. Pickens built Mesa into one of America's largest independent natural gas and oil companies. Beginning in 1968, Pickens engineered a number of attempts at corporate takeovers. In the process, he championed the goal of making corporate management more responsive to the interests of shareholders. Today, he operates BP Capital, which manages one of the nation's most successful energy-oriented investment funds, with more than $4 billion under management. He also pursues a wide range of other business interests, including water marketing, ranch development, and promoting the use of natural gas.
I had an interesting entry into my life. My mother got pregnant, but she couldn't deliver. The doctor called my dad off and said, "You got to decide who's going to survive here." And my dad said, "No, that's not the way it's going to be." And they prayed, and lo and behold, they had the first cesarean birth at Holdenville General Hospital and never had another one for 25 years. My dad after World War I, he saw the excitement of the oil business and he got in. He had kind of run into hard times in the oil business, and you couldn't drill many wells. It was hard to do, and he was gone most of the time. I had a paper out when I was 11 years old, and it was the smallest paper out in town, which over a period of 4 years, I built that route up from 28 papers to 156, which was the largest route in town. Not by getting new customers, but by merging with routes that were contiguous to me. And that was my first introduction to expanding quickly by acquisition. I was walking on my route, and I had found this billfold. I couldn't wait to get home, and my mother and grandmother were sitting there talking when I came in, and I said I found a billfold, and the man gave me $1 for bringing it back to him. And I'll never forget the looks on those women's faces. My grandmother said, "We're not going to be paid to be honest. Go take the money back." When I got out of school in 51, I went to work for Phillips. Then I, struck out on my own in November of 1954. It was obvious that it was harder and harder to find gas and oil. It'd be a lot cheaper to acquire than to continue to try to find oil and gas. That's when I put together PEI.
One of the things Boone's always said to me is, the more I give, it seems the more I make. And I think it's because it's a healthy way to think in life is, how much can I help somebody?
I still think I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Has everything gone perfect? Of course not. But still, when you look at it, it's been pretty darn good. So I think, I've experienced the American dream.